I was staggered to find particularly something that's related to Lufthansa and their subsidiary Germanwings. You don't get very many airlines as well run as what Lufthansa is, and you could say that the aircraft, although it was 24 years old, would be in a very good condition mechanically. The crews are very experienced, and as your previous interviewee said, airlines are all about culture, and certainly the German culture would be right through this airline. And all I can think is, again, something catastrophic like a depressurization, because if they'd lost one engine, that wouldn't be a problem. They would have been able to manage that in the time that they put the Mayday out. So it will have to be something very major, and I only hope that the crash is not so catastrophic that the black boxes have been in any way damaged and not able to be interrogated.
We understand, Neil, that a distress call signal was made at 10:45 a.m. local time. Again, we're still trying to piece information as to what happened in the final minutes of this flight. But I just wanted to ask you firstly about the weather, because a lot has been spoken about regarding that, and also the region that we're talking about here. A previous spokesperson a short time ago said to us that it is his understanding that the plane came down on the Alps, which is not particularly high in metre, where you altitude increases, and the plane perhaps would be in more difficulties than it was at this stage.
If the aircraft was 52 minutes approximately into the flight, so it's up and into the cruising altitudes, so it doesn't matter whether it was over the Alps or over the flat country. If the problem had been over the flat country, the result probably would have been the same. It's only the retrieval and any other assessments that are going to be difficult, because I understand it's in a valley in the Alps. It's not in the Caps, and it's near a small village of Barcelona, and so I don't think the fact that it's actually over the Alps is a significant contributor, because it sounds like even if it had been over towards northern France, it would have been any different in outcome.
And as you said, Neil, this is a carrier operating a number of flights every day with a very good safety record, and a flight path from Barcelona to Dusseldorf that is regularly travelled.
Oh, it's a core route in Europe, flying between Barcelona and the industrial heartland of Germany, and it's got a reasonable loading. The aircraft had 142 or 148, including the crew. It's an aircraft that probably only had 40 empty seats. It's a late morning flight. It's something that has been going on for decades without a problem.
We understand, Neil, just to interrupt there and tell our viewers of what we're expecting to hear within the next few hours or so. We are hoping to hear from the Prime Minister of Spain, Mariano Rajoy. We also understand that the German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said that she will also hold a press conference later this afternoon. But this is a scene live in Madrid where we are expecting to hear from the authorities there, because it's understood, according to the Deputy Prime Minister, that 45 Spanish passengers were on board. Neil, back to you, our aviation expert. You spoke earlier about decompression being an issue here. Just in detail, can you explore that for us in terms of what exactly might be happening if there was a failure on that system with this?
Well, if you have a decompression, obviously the crew have to try and get the aircraft down as soon as possible, down below 10,000 feet, so that the passengers can breathe, or we'll have the situation that the passengers all basically die through not being able to breathe. It would sound like, though, that the aircraft has had something catastrophic happen, and I think it's too early to totally rule out terrorism or anything else, because we don't know that there hasn't been an explosion or something else to cause a massive decompression. So I think we shouldn't have too high an expectation that we'll get a very quick answer. It will take days, hopefully, but maybe months or years to find out exactly what brought the aircraft down. but the pilot has had a chance to get a mayday signal away that they had a catastrophic problem, and then has fought the aircraft to keep it in the air. And I don't think it was a situation that if it had been somewhere else in Europe, he would have been able to find time to get to another airport or something else. And but I don't think it's just too early to determine whether it was an aircraft failure or some other factor. And we can't just rule terrorism out, because with what's happening with ISIS and everything else and some other events in the world, you can't rule anything in or rule anything out this close to an accident.